Happy Thursday, guys. I figured today I'd talk a little bit about communication and the importance of it. Now, again, I'm talking mostly about the restoration trades, but this stuff can be applied to just about everything you guys are doing. All right. There's a huge problem in this industry with people not communicating. I've seen it almost every company I've gone to where project managers and office teams are not communicating with one another. If you are going out to a job site and looking at it from any number of reasons, if you're a technician and you are going out to a job site and taking psychrometric readings and doing moisture mapping, you need to be communicating with the office regarding what you're finding, who was on the job site, who you spoke with, what you talked about, what you found, unusual circumstances that you're having trouble with. And these things need to be relayed immediately to the office. This isn't something that you need to keep on the top of your head, because the reality of it is you could get hit by a bus. You could be fired for not communicating, because if you work for me and you don't communicate, I'm going to find someone who will. The next thing is, if you're a project manager running a repair, I cannot stress enough the importance of proper communication. A lot of repair managers come from the construction industry, and these guys are not doing the same kind of project. Their experience isn't the same as what we're dealing with. Once people have moved into their house, the dynamic of the house changes, and they don't generally call the repair manager when they have questions about a project and a timeline. They call the office. Or if they do try to call the repair manager and the repair manager's giving them a runaround or not giving them the answers they're looking for, they'll call the office. Now, the worst thing you can do for the office staff is to leave them unaware of what's going on a project, and it happens all the time. They need to know what's going on. They need to be able to communicate. So what needs to happen is you guys need to, before you leave a job site, sit down on your cell phone, stop texting your bae, and write out a quick email. We have smartphone technology. We have the ability to voice to text. It's ridiculous to not do this stuff. Write out who you spoke with, what you talked about, what you saw. Whatever the situation that you encounter, it needs to go into a permanent file. What I like to do is I like to email strictly to the office manager or to the office, and they can put it in a file. If there's something that's critical that needs to be turned over to someone else, for instance, if my repair manager goes out to a job and discovers a pipe is leaking and there's wet flooring or something, my production manager needs to know about it so that he can handle it. So in a situation like that, I would encourage the repair manager to CC the production manager in the email that's going into the office, and as soon as he gets off, he needs to call as well. That way there's a paper trail. There is not just a phone conversation, well, I called Craig and told him that there was a leak on the floor. There's also an email trail that not only was this communicated, it's in where everyone can see it. This holds everybody accountable. So don't allow little problems to become big problems, and the easiest way to prevent these little problems from escalating into huge problems is to catch them while they're small, and you catch them when they're small by communicating effectively. This is not building new houses. This is an entirely different dynamic. We're dealing with people who's quite possibly dealing with the worst thing they've ever encountered. So with that being said, communicate with your office. If you're not communicating with your office, you're making everyone else's job more complicated. And the thing that a lot of guys complain about is that they feel like they're being micromanaged. Well, if you're not communicating and telling people about the problems, you are yourself micromanaging. It doesn't need to happen. You need to share information. Everybody needs to know of a problem that's going on. It's not singling you out. It's not causing a problem. Everyone needs to know about what's going on. If you're ordering materials, there needs to be a timeline stamped, and that's timeline is stamped when you send an email into the office saying, I ordered the drywall, I scheduled the painters, I've done all of these things. So again, if you pull in equipment off of a job site as a technician, you send that information into the office. I pulled equipment on this date at this time. All right, guys, you have a good day. Good luck with it. If you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks.